Well, good afternoon, everyone. We are going to get settled in here for the season finale of the Sylvania Bush League. This will also be the final live stream for quite a while as we will roll into our off season. So I'm going to get some stuff set up here in the meantime. I got to get the track actually downloaded as I do not believe they've actually got the Daytona Road Course for NASCAR Racing 2003. On Discord, I will be hosting an open mic right now for anyone that wants to come on the stream. And it looks like we've got Al Bunch. Hey there, Al.
Yeah, what's up?
Oh, not too much. Just got home from work and getting settled in here to try and set up the race. How was your day?
Pretty mediocre. Not much happened.
So how about last night? 3 wins in a row. That is a tremendous accolade right
Yeah, it
there.
was pretty crazy. I can't believe it. 3 wins. That's just insane. We've had a very bad fast car for the whole night, and it pretty much paid off. We got 3 wins in a row, but this time I'm just hoping someone else wins. To be honest about that.
Yeah, because it's still alive even today here at Daytona. You never know what could happen, so.
Yeah, I'm pretty much just shooting for a top 5. I don't really care if I get that 4th win in a row. I already got 3 wins in a row, so I'm pretty much high and dry right now.
So with this being the last live stream, was there anything you wanted to look back on or comment about from your 2022 season with the trucks and the Busch Series?
Well, yeah, just to see how far I've gone. I've had lots of upgrades to that truck. It's paid off by getting a win, in a pretty interesting style. Having to hold off Tim Cording in those last couple of laps, and definitely, oh, like I said, the 3 wins in a row, the Busch Series, and how hard I had to claw my way. I've almost gotten wins at multiple tracks. But probably the most heartbreaking ones were at North Wilkesboro and Martinsville.
And so, yeah, we're definitely going to be looking forward to 2023. And with the finale tonight, what do you think the chances for Ewan to take home the victory is?
Well, he's pretty high up in the standings at the moment, so I think he's going to win the championship. He's probably the championship favorite at the time.
You don't think Cam
Guess we'll
Jordan
just have
might come
to.
from behind? Because actually one of the wins Cam Jordan had was at a road course. That kind of makes me worried for Ewan with only a 40-point lead. and double points on the board. It's going to be interesting, I think. We'll actually have quite a battle.
Yeah, I've actually finished behind Cam that race at Sonoma. I almost got my first win there, but his car was just faster than mine at the time, so
Wait, so now I got to go back in the record books. That means he's won at 2 road courses, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, you came second to him at Sonoma, and earlier in the year, further back, he took home victory at, I wanted to say it was the Roval, one of the races that he led like from flag to flag, basically. Yeah, right here, the Roval. He wound up leading 53 of 53 laps. And you and What
wow.
Army finished 10th that day. So that was race number, I want to say race number 2 on the season.
Yeah, so Cam Jordan could be the dark horse candidate to win this championship, if I'm not mistaken. But uh, right now, Ewan Wood Army has a very comfortable lead at the moment, but since it's a double point race, it could just be shattered and Cam Jordan could be the inaugural champion.
So even though you were saying you would like to see a new winner, uh, how would it feel to be a four-peat winner closing out the season? That would be I think I'm gonna do what I set up a channel already for awards in the series, and the first award is going to go to Guido Piano for his come from behind championship victory in the truck series. And then right after that, you're going to get on the list as well with your at least 3 wins. We'll see what happens here at Daytona, but
Yeah, I actually would be somewhat surprised if I actually got 4 in a row, especially at the season finale at Daytona. Uh, remember, my first start was actually the dirt version of Daytona. Had a good finish there. Can't remember where I finished. I think it was somewhere in the top 10, if I do recall, of course.
sorry, I was lost there for a minute, but we yeah. Yeah, so that'll be neat to be up on the awards list for going onward here, and I'll have to try and look and maybe create a criteria that falls into place so that we can give awards on a frequent basis.
Yeah, yeah,
Things that don't happen very often. I mean, like last night was just something that doesn't happen very often. That's like Tom Brady winning 7 or 8 Super Bowls and yeah, winning 3 races back to back to back. I don't think there's been anyone that's been able to do that in real life NASCAR for quite some time. Unless you're in like the Xfinity series that, there's someone like Kyle Busch will go race 3 in a row and win all 3 of them.
yeah. Doing some good old bushwhacking.
But
Yeah,
this was
so
more of a statement race on your end. It's yeah, you're trying to prove that you belong up in the Cup series. So
yeah, it's been a high and key moments of my season have been both high and low, and they pretty much started at Daytona. My first start was there on the dirt track. My first DNF was there on the asphalt track after he got collected with Chaz Chadwick, I think. Or yeah, I don't remember.
yeah, I'll have
Probably
to
At Louise.
I might have to take notes next year and try to keep a chronicle of everything that happened from race to race because there's so much racing that's gone on this year. I don't quite remember.
Yeah, just a crazy season in general. I tell you what.
I did want to extend a message here from Trevor Walker and Jordan Walker. He said he wasn't going to be able to log in to do the pre-race segment here, and wanted to mention that he was very pleased with how far the organization has come over the season. The truck operation, Trevor Ventures, is in for the long haul, and they're not going anywhere. Trevor Ventures is very excited to announce that Tim Hansen will be joining their operation next season in the number 9 USA truck Tundra. His skill set will be most valuable to what we want to build. We also will be starting our Sylvania Bush Light series, and that'll be Jaw Drop Motorsports. Primary holder would be Jordan Walker, but the both of them are going to run full time in the trucks and Bush. Have very high hopes and have been spending extra time in the simulator and the shop preparing mind and machine. Looking forward to next season with great anticipation.
Yeah, it's kind of been the same for our operation as well out at ABI. We've been focused on building better engines, training drivers on the simulators, and I think we've done that pretty successfully so far, so I'm very hopeful and excited for the 2023 season overall. I'm gonna do double duty both in trucks and bush, so I think we might have a good points finish in these next races, out in the races, start of the season. Hopefully, we just get a good points spot in general in both trucks and bush. But shouldn't probably get my hopes up, but we should probably just wait and see how everything comes together.
Cool, cool. Yep, so yeah, no, it'll be a fun season for sure. It looks like we got Tayden that jumped in on the live mic session here. How's it going, Tayden? Oh, he's mic's muted, but he's in the group right now, so we'll if he might chime in a bit. I'm gonna go ahead and start getting stuff set up so that we can start the race, and we can keep the live mic going during the race too, and kind of chime in on the drivers that are racing. And I am live on YouTube right now, and anyone that is tuning in, we do have, or I'm going to be trying to advertise or promote other servers. So if you want your splash screen up on the slideshow during my streams, I would be happy to throw them up there. So I only have about 4 of them right now, but it'll keep things a little bit tidier when I'm running my race. I can turn it on when I am on my desktop screen so that it overall just has a little bit more of a professional feel to it all. So going into tonight, this afternoon, this evening, the Daytona Road Course will be the finale of our championship here. And Chadwick, or actually I'm getting names mixed up now. Ewan What Army, who is alliance with Chaz Chadwick, holds the points lead at 12:01 over Cam Jordan, who has 11:59.
do think this points battle is going to be pretty exciting. So
For
I guess
sure.
we'll just have to sit back, relax, eat some popcorn.
Yeah, definitely. We'll want to grab snacks and kind of enjoy what'll be the last live stream for the trucks and Bush. I might try to live stream one of the final cup races. I do have a championship battle shaping up in the cup series, so that was kind of unexpected. We have had Willpower dominate throughout the entire season so far, and he has now given up a sizable points lead to my brother Tyler Shangle, who is within 100 points with 2 races to go. So
Is there any other silly season news heading out in your team at the moment?
for my JSR team,
Yeah.
um, stuff have I not mentioned. We've got Mike Bliss Jr. joining the JSR stable in 2023. And I've got, let's see, my cup team's going to stay relatively unchanged with me, Dalton, Kara, and Howard. The Bush Light series, I'll have Braden Hunt and John Brinker coming up to race for the Bush Light series. And the trucks, I will have a team of 3 with Jack Davis, Andrew Moger, and John Brinker. So Jack Davis is actually going to be able to race with Tim Cording's team in 2023 in the Bush Series. I was able to make an alliance. We both are going to basically like Wood Brothers to Penske. We have that kind of alliance as we both have Ford team.
So pretty much a satellite team.
Yep.
I was also wondering, do you plan to switch manufacturers or stay with Mercedes?
In the Cup, I'm definitely going to switch to Ford, and Mercedes is actually going to expand out to some new drivers in 2023. I was able to basically give Mercedes some data to get get the rubber, get their feet under them for NASCAR. So it was more of a
Well,
trial process to get them some data.
yeah. We've had lots of interesting stuff going on for our team silly season. We sold my engine program. I sold my engine program, so now when What Army and Chaz Chadwick have a alliance with me now, and also we have found new sponsorship for next year for Bush. We got a new sponsor in Bob Ross Inc. So it's gonna be awesome seeing some happy little trees on my car,
Nice.
and also it's gonna be
Sounds nice.
also we're gonna have a one-off appearance out at Daytona for the 500, of course. It's a crown jewel event after all. So we have Sinclair Motor Oil been aboard machine for the race, and so I'm hoping we get a good finish out at the 500. Everything's all being put together in the shop at the moment, so like I said last night, everything should be done by Thanksgiving or Christmas at the moment.
Nice, nice. I do believe we got Tayden on the mic now. Is that right?
Yep, I'm good.
Howdy, Tayden.
Howdy.
So what's some news for your team and other ventures in 2023?
Well, my truck team has recently picked up a new primary sponsor. For the time being, at least, it will be PXN for a few races next year,
Nice.
and we've we've started doing a little research into possibly just more simulator things. Not much though.
So PXN is going to come on to sponsor your USA truck for 2023.
Yep. And then
Nice.
we're still in the talks about doing it for the Bush Light.
And yeah, you and was it you and Gavin that are going to be teaming up in the Bush Light series?
Yep, correct.
And that you're going to be Chevy. You're Chevy already, so there's nothing
Yeah,
that gets. Yep.
yeah. Chevys did not do good at all this season.
No, Bush or well, Trucks was a hard. There wasn't a
Yeah, it
single
was
win, which is crazy.
still
Dominated the whole season.
still can't get over how hard my season ended up falling off from the first 3 races. Because I think I got like a 12th, like a second, a third, and another second, and then just went down. It was I think it was at Indianapolis that if I had one more lap, I could have probably won that race.
Yeah. And last
Luck
minute
just didn't
opportunities
go
as
my way
well.
this year.
Well, it seems like your mic's kind of acting up there, Al. I don't know if you're having technical difficulties.
I'm just a bit on the cold, so
Try my best not to laugh right now.
Right now, I'm running the practice session here at Daytona. I haven't usually run practice sessions, but this will be we got a 20-minute session here before the start. We'll see who's got maybe who's got the setup, who might be someone to look out for here today. And as I mentioned already, our points battle is going to be between that of Cam Jordan and Ewan What Army. So are you excited next year to be in the Bush Series, Tayden?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Just new opportunities, mainly. See if I can propel myself to Cup.
Yeah, and like with
Hopefully.
your truck series, it was kind of a rough season that you didn't get to
Yeah.
see victory lane, but you still had some
Yeah.
good runs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you
Still a
think,
lot just missed opportunities.
true, do you think the alliance with Gavin's going to help boost both of your team's opportunity at winning?
Oh, yeah. It should help quite a bit.
It'll be basically double the resources, so yeah, it'll be fun to see how the team takes off next year.
Mm-hmm. And I'm just gonna give myself a shout out real quick. If you're on YouTube right now and look in a slideshow, and if you see my slide, if you can't get on the link, just go to YouTube and type in Taco Adventures. The T and A are capitalized with a space in the middle.
slide.
I'm going to end up shutting the live mic off with 5 minutes left in the practice session here, so we'll definitely go green at about 3:30, 3:20. So what looks like currently fastest in practice, we've got Roland Heidfeld, who has not had a good season at all in the Bush League. Highest title contender is Adam Starr in 10th at the moment. Who's your pick, Tayden? Is it you and What Army or Cam Jordan for the championship here?
Ooh, I haven't watched too much Bush this year. I think it'll be pretty close. It might come down to the last few laps, but I'd say I'd give the edge to What Army. It'll be exciting to watch for sure.
Yep, and if anyone, most people that haven't been tuned in, they're more likely going to tune into this one being the championship deciders. So this will be hopefully a special event. I'm hoping. Kind of give a little bit of hype for next year too, as a lot of
Yeah.
the faces and different drivers will be all switched up for next year. Originally, this all started my whole YouTube project with the Bush League. I decided I was going to open up a league or a series that was totally just random people by what's the word? By submissions. So anyone that wanted to submit a car number and manufacturer, sponsor, I was going to build the car and get the the whole thing set up, and that's kind of where this all started. Once I realized that my server was getting bigger and I didn't really have enough to field everyone, that's when the truck series came to be. And so the Bush League happened first, and realistically turned out to be my truck series this year. In real life kind of scenario where the length of the race and kind of the popularity, and the trucks were actually more like my Xfinity series. So I'm hoping to do the flip-flop on that next year and truly have the truck series be the shorter entry-level truck series, the Bush be the intermediate, more best of the best series, and then of course my Cup, which I'm gonna have shorter races so that it'll be a little bit more stream friendly for next year. All the races that I've run in my Cup series have always been full-length races, so it'll be about 3 or 4 hours, and that would just be a nightmare to do a live stream on. So
I'm pretty much one of the founding members of the truck series. I was one of the original drivers in the startup roster. I think I joined around the third race rolled around, I don't remember.
yeah, so you didn't miss very many races. You were like one of the first few. We had 22 to start the season, and the trucks grew
Yep.
to 52 at the end of it.
I feel like at some point, if the trucks get too big, I'd always go for a little more grassroots type. Maybe like some late models or something. Be a unique series.
Kind of break up
Do
the
something like
series.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
modified.
you don't
I
have
think
like
I'd really like the idea of modified series.
Yeah, kind of find a lot of short tracks and get some of your veterans from the trucks to break it in half basically, and I could see that.
just so the trucks don't get extremely crowded.
Yep. No, and we got we're gonna have to do sprint races all of next year to keep things going. So, but it should
Something like series race. Like, we could race 1950s cars like a Hudson Hornets, SBLs, Pontiacs.
So our
Kind of like,
pre-race festivities are about to come to a close here
Okay,
soon. Is there any other final words from those that tuned in here?
Yeah, I do have one mention. That I am absolutely feasting onto popcorn right now.
Are you got your seat and you're sitting ready to watch the
Yep,
finale here at Daytona? I, I'm
yep.
I'm hoping that this time window helps a little bit with me being on the Pacific Northwest, uh, doing them after I get off work. Usually it's dang near midnight on the East Coast, so I'm hoping
same
that
for me.
my server, I hope everything does perfectly fine here. I was messing around with the better cautions and it was crashing the game, so I really, really hope that that doesn't rear its ugly head tonight. Is there any last statements you wanted to make, Al Bunch?
I'm and we get a good finish out there today. We run pretty well. We do good courses, so I'm pretty optimistic this race. Maybe we'll get a top five, or probably even a.
Well, and it looks like you're fifth fastest in practice so far, so that's a good start.
It may go out with a bang at the end of the season.
And I did want to mention too, since there hasn't been any updates on points, you did come from 32nd in the point standings all the way up to 23rd. And even so, you could probably still gain another 5 to 10 spots depending on how everything plays out here. You could almost be right back into the top 15 at the end of the season here. So that would be a decent way to finish the season for sure.
Definitely. I guess you just have to be patient and wait and see what happens.
True that.
Ready to sit back and relax in my bed and watch this stream.
Alrighty, so I'm gonna get the live mic turned off. We'll probably maybe I don't know how else I don't know. We'll see how the race goes and how things end up. We might do a post race thing too if anyone's interested. So, like I said, this
I'd
will
be
be
interested with that.
one of our
Yeah, me too.
last streams of the season until probably December or January. So, I'm hoping that maybe we can get a exhibition style race set up. We might try to do like the Clash or an all-star race in December. That way we got an extra race to look forward to before the actual season starts. So I'm going to go ahead and close out myself on Discord. So hopefully y'all enjoy and good luck on the race here. We'll let the final 5 minutes of practice conclude here. It looks like at the moment Tristan Reams is first fastest, Al Bunch seventh fastest, and Cam Jordan fifth fastest. So Cam Jordan is showing that he's got quite the road course prowess, it seems like. crazy thing is, even though they run laps here in practice, it may not always be a way to gauge how the actual race is going to go. Craig Bush might be fastest here in practice, and he might qualify dead last. Or, even, well, the only one that'll stay true is Nadak Gum in 35th. He will likely qualify 35th and probably even finish 35th unless someone wrecks out in front of him. But even like Adam Gerber-Forian deep in practice here, 33rd, and he's third in the points with an outside chance, but definitely still alive. Really, of the drivers still alive, Adam Starr all the way back to 5th could technically still win as long as What Army failed to finish. The rest of them are pretty much out. So Tristan Reams, Justin Day 2, which is astonishing as Day 2 went on a hot streak and looked to be the favorite to win the entire championship. He has had the worst 5-race stretch here that has put him way behind, and what was looking to be a championship run is now going to be only good for the top 8. Got 1 minute left now in practice. Just giving everyone a chance to log in and get cozy. This will be a 49 lap event here, and that'll be roughly an hour long. 49 laps at 2 minutes around the Daytona Road Course. It'll be a worthwhile watch though. The ones we'll want to be watching are the 21 car. So if you're not familiar with the series, I'm going to go ahead and highlight each car as I'm telling you about them. Ewan What Army, who has accumulated multiple wins this year. He's gotten 2 wins and has kind of come from behind to sneak his way into title contention here. He hadn't had a bad season, but he hadn't won a lot of races up until the end. So he's our number 1 guy as they run right now. Our second place contender is the 18 of Cam Jordan, who has shown a lot of prowess on road courses. 2 of his 3 wins have come on road course, Sonoma and the Roval, and his other win was at Bristol. So he is one of your winningest drivers in the Sylvania Bush League until the guy of the night last night came out of nowhere and matched that tally with 3 wins of his own. He won 3 back to back to back, all in one night during the live stream last night. And not being part of the championship was kind of out of left field for sure. No one expected to see that kind of strength out of a 32nd place driver in the points tally. And there's only 35 cars out there each week. So definitely the feel-good story at the end of the year here, with Al Bunch having taken home 3 wins last night, all within a 3-hour span. That also means that he's very much on the table for 4th consecutive win if he can pull it off here at Daytona. Got 13, so this is all but over now, the practice session. Stand by, we'll let it click, click, click. So our qualifying will be determined right here. And by golly, Al Bunch is starting on the front row yet again. The dominance has not shown any waiver as he's going to be on the front row for an opportunity at his 4th consecutive win. Title contenders, we've got Tristan Reams. They both start with a TR. Tristan Reams in 4th, so that'll be a good start. And he's definitely going to have to outpoint you and What Army. You and What Army would have to finish dead last if he even had a shot at doing this. Tyler Landa, unfortunately, is out of contention in 6th place on the track he starts. You and What Army is starting in 11th, and right behind him, his biggest contender, that of Cam Jordan. Tyler Aspinall, Justin Day2, Adam Gerber-Forian, Adam Starr, Tyler Disharoon, who's still technically alive in the points battle for the championship. He's going to have a long road to the front. And of course, Nadat Kagum taking up the rear of the field here. So we'll go ahead and get this race started. We might be looking at history here if, and I ain't going to jinx anything, but Al Bunch rolling into this with 3 consecutive wins. If the championship were to go to anyone who, this championship is, it obviously is crazy enough as it is, but who would have thought that a non-championship contender would be looking to seal the deal at the end of the season, and none of your title contenders winning any of the final 5 races, so. Starting outside of him is the 77 of Ryan Blaney. And even Lucas Holmes there behind Al Bunch has shown improvement over the season. At the conclusion, I will go into figuring out some extra awards too, like most improved, maybe even like most dominant, the most snake bitten. There's a lot of drivers that probably qualify for that award who failed to. The funny part is Al Bunch could qualify for both the most improved and the snake bitten driver of the year, as he almost had a win before his 3 in a row. He ended up blowing up after starting on the pole, so there was no telling how that would have turned out. And the race before that, he was out front leading and had a mechanical failure, had a tire go flat, and that cost him the win, and it gave you and What Army the win at North Wilkesboro. So with some alternate universe, he could have had 5 wins already in a row. So currently out there with the lead, Lucas Holmes in 2nd, Craig Bush, Ryan Blaney, Tristan Reams settled into 5th for the moment. Ones we're going to want to watch though is you and What Army here and Cam Jordan. And so based on the points tally, all you and What Army has to do is finish in front of all the title contenders, and it's his. He will be contending next year in the Cup Series in the number 1 car sponsored by Mobile One and Credit One. Number 21 had already existing ownership in the Cup Series, so he was willing to settle for the number 1 in place of the 21. Surprisingly, this is kind of a slow start for Cam Jordan. His previous road courses, he started much further up front. Perhaps the championship anxiety, the stresses of fighting for the championship might be affecting him here a little bit. The pressure. And the one thing with road courses is once you get out front, you kind of stay out front. So this is definitely best case scenario for Al Bunch. Previous in the year, we did see Cam Jordan lead all laps at the Roval. Similar distance to this one. He led every lap at the front of the field and never looked back. So the alliance that Al Bunch has merged with Ewan Wood Army and Chadwick seems to have helped their engines go just that much quicker. Pit strategy definitely, as always, plays a huge part in these road course races, so Al Bunch is doing the best he can right now to drive as far away from the guys behind him and get some extra time when he goes down pit road. I'm sure a lot of you tuning in for the first time on a Busch League race. Hopefully you are getting excited for 2023 because you might be part of the series in a couple seasons time. Truck season next year is going to be broke into a winter and a summer, and the winter champion of the trucks will get graduated into the Busch Light series, as well as the summer champ will also get graduated up into the Busch Light series. So championships are key on moving up through the ranks, and it's not required. You can always move up due to success and performance on track. So it's kind of a moving target for sure. You can always get moved up if someone sees something that they like, and perhaps they'll recruit you on up to the Busch or even the Cup Series. But the only deal is it's going to get harder and harder to get up into the Cup Series. And the way I'm going to end up playing it going forward is the Busch Series and the Cup Series will definitely be intertwined. So anyone in the Cup Series that might be struggling could always get sent back down to the Busch Series, and vice versa. That means if you're doing good in the Busch Series, you might get called up, and the only deal is you'll have to, decide if you want to commit to the championship in the Busch Series, or if you want to go move on up to the Cup and try to contend for wins there. It's gonna be a lot, a lot to process for sure, but it should be fun. It should be interactive, and it'll be something different. I haven't found anything quite like it on YouTube myself, and what groups I follow, and everyone that I've followed kind of gave me motivation to do this myself, so Tim Cording made a comment, yeah, with Chadwick and Bunch teaming up, that he might be in trouble for next season. It's a pretty powerful combo between the two of them, but at the same time, you and me are teamed up, so that should help. That'll kind of combat it. It's very much we're the Penske and Wood Brothers combo, as they're more like the let's see, who's kind of the closest to Childress. Well, Childress and Hendrick? No. I don't think there is a Chevy satellite team, but obviously get what I'm trying to get at. Currently, with the way things are running, Chadwick's friend, Ewan Wood Army, looking to potentially win the championship here. Chadwick came up short in the trucks. He had a dominant season. The two pals have been through it together, and it was looking like we could have seen the two of them contending potentially to secure a championship. Chadwick, at the last race in the truck season, wound up getting wrecked early and was out before it even started, so Chadwick's probably now watching on the sidelines, with hoping that What Army can bring home a championship to the team. Next year with them, they'll be teamed up, the 1 and the 18 in the Cup Series, so that'll be fun. Chadwick mentioned that he is not going to step away from the Truck Series until he can secure a championship there, so What Army is going to be one leg up on him with potential championship here tonight. Even though we got a championship on the line, I think the one thing that overshadows all of this is the craziness that is Al Bunch leading, winning his 3 consecutive races to this point, potentially en route for a 4th one in a row here. This win would definitely catapult him up the standings. After his 3 wins, was able to move him up 10 spots into 23rd. He still has a lot of wiggle room, and after moving up to 23rd, all the drivers in front of him are much more packed together, a lot more room, a little bit closer to move up through the pack in the point standings. So he had such a struggle of a season. He started out as driver X in the number 8 car here. No one knew who he was. He kept his identity a secret, and at mid-season decided that he was gonna, remove the mask or reveal his identity. And since then, it's been going up from there. He's really kind of taken the series by storm right now, just in the last 2 days. So and with this being double points, I would likely wager if he finishes first here, he will be in the top 15 in points. Tyler Aspinall is looking to improve on his standings. He's had just as rough a year as Al Bunch has. He's shown speed at times, but he just can't close the deal race to race here. So he'll be housing a team in all 3 series in 2023. He will have truck drivers, he'll have Busch Light drivers, and he'll even be racing in the Cup. He was able to buy the remains of the Universal race team based out of Nashville, Tennessee, and it basically gave him the number 3 and the number 8 car that was piloted by Joseph Newgarden and Josh Berry in 2022. Both Nashville natives, Tennessee natives, I should say. That was where that team came from. And we're also going to be looking at some of the other, generic handle teams like Penske that could potentially go to any of you that are in the Discord channel. So we'll definitely be looking into expanding ownership to more physical bodies rather than generic default Penske, Ganassi kind of deals. So in all reality, the Penske team, I don't think will be stayed Penske branded for long. We might let, someone do like their last name / Penske kind of conglomerate like Roush Fenway and Keselowski. The only deal is, I think the best way to do it, we'll have to keep it at a 4 team. So whoever would be interested in that definitely might make some mention of that if you'd be interested in co-owning the Penske team in the Cup Series. I know Gavin Legend wants to get up into the Cup Series, and with the way I have the system set up, I'm trying to keep it so that you have to work your way up into the Cup Series. Unfortunately, Gavin had one rough season in the trucks, and he is going to be a Busch Light owner in 2023, and hopefully he'll find some success in Busch. Especially with Tayden, he'll have the resources of 2 teams now, so Tayden will continue to pilot his own team in the trucks, as well as Gavin. But in Sylvania Busch Light 2023, it'll be a joint effort between the 2. Tayden will drive the number 88 car, and Gavin Legend will drive the 89. Eight laps into the race so far, and the 8 car still out front leading. Ewan Wood Army, our title contender, running 12th, and Cam Jordan running 15th. With lap 9 complete, we are 17 minutes through this race already. So like I was guesstimating, it's probably going to be about a full hour length of racing here at Daytona. You don't see this very often in stock car racing, where your championship is decided on a road course. That's kind of where this series stands out a little bit, in the fact that we're actually going to be crowning a champion on a road course. Series like Formula One, obviously, or IndyCar, it's normal because the majority of their schedule is on road courses. And I feel like road courses are kind of making a surge in NASCAR. that you're gonna have to be well-rounded and willing, willing to do good or perform well at a road course in order to win the championship. I do think it'd be cool to have a rotating championship decider race for this series, which is probably what I'll end up doing, and changing it maybe from super speedway to a road course to a short track in the future. And I really don't have any way to explain this. I did nothing to the ratings of the cars in the series. Nothing has changed on that front. The cars are the exact same rating as they started once the shakeup race was finished way back earlier in the year. And so Al Bunch really is just found some magic here in that number 8 Chevy Camaro. And there's really no way else to explain it because he's had a rough season and potentially eyeballing a record holding 4th win if he can pull it off here. He's tied for number 1 overall with race wins, 3 apiece, him and Cam Jordan. But he'll be the standalone. And the crazy part, not even championship, not in the top 5, not in the top 10. He's going to be potentially a top 15 driver in the point standings at the end of the season here. Earlier today, I was trying to decide on some special awards for the series. I think what I'm going to end up doing is taking 3 of the best ones that were mentioned, that were highest voted, and do a gold award based on that title, a silver award, and a bronze award. So like for example, the one that has the most votes right now is the Monster Energy Leave Your Mark moment. The Monster Energy mark would be the golden award. The Mountain Dew Game Changer would be your silver award. And probably, based on what's voted on right now, the Get Your Wings award brought to you by Red Bull would be the bronze award. But I might mix that up since we already have a energy drink sponsor amongst the top 3. Cam Jordan actually drops the spot back to 16th. Ewan What Army still running 12th at the moment. And right now, Al Bunch, with his lead growing exponentially, he'll likely be able to make a pit stop, win the pit sessions come around and find a way to maintain the lead here. So definitely he's going to have a huge advantage if this race goes green all the way. As the race is kind of stretched out here, we haven't had a whole lot of movement in the top 10. Al Bunch has led every lap out front so far for the first 12. Second place, Lucas Holmes has been doing pretty good here. His best start and a best running position of second so far on the season. And you got Craig Bush, Ryan Blaney, Logan Nagy, Tristan Reams, who could potentially still work his way up to second based on the rest of the running order in the grand total points tally at the end of the season. Then you got Tyler Landa, Dusty Redding, Nelson Morrison, and Tyler Aspinall. I see I am partially competing against the live stream for Tyler Aspinall, and I want to apologize as I did not realize he was going to be live streaming his series today too. Shout out for Aspinall if any of you wanted to catch his Bush Clash on his server. But this is a championship battle, and I think it's a little bit more, it carries a little bit more marbles. You only get this kind of a opportunity once a year for a championship finale. At one point the year I was trying to decide whether to keep both leagues going or drop the Bush series in place of the Truck series. I am overall glad I decided against that, and that the Bush series is going to be stronger and more impressive than ever next season. Just being the inaugural season, it was hard to gauge interest here, and I think the only reason few people were interested was most of the people I recruited for the series were on Reddit, and not all of them joined on the Discord channels, so they don't always know when a race is going. And once the Truck Series came about, that was 99% of the people that were already on the Discord server. So I already had an established fan base or spectator viewer count that was unaffected by elements such as Reddit or Redditors not, tuning in to watch it. So in all reality, the Bush series kind of turned into the Truck series in popularity, like I mentioned earlier in the broadcast. And I'm glad that the spectrum shift is going to happen and that the Bush series is truly going to be the Xfinity, or in this case Busch Series, to my Cup Series. And the trucks will still be the trucks. Nothing's changing. It's just going to be, it'll be the first entry on the ladder up to the Sylvania Cup Series. So one of the things I do a little bit differently compared to real life with my series is I try to start the season at Fontana Speedway. I'm trying to keep it more realistic to what we could race at in January. So a lot of fictional tracks usually start up the season. And California, I felt, was a great season opener because of the size of the track and the racing that it produces in NR 2003. So we'll likely start amongst the trucks, Busch, and Cup at California, and the Daytona 500. I will run, the Cup Series will run their own Daytona 500, and potentially might try to mirror the Cup Series schedule and try to run it around third week of February, or I might do it sometime around, mid-January. It might run right after California. We'll have to see. The schedules aren't going to be up for a while, but I'm truly going to be working on that once the championships are tied up here. So this is the last race in the Sylvania Busch League, and then I only have 2 races remaining in the Sylvania Cup Series. And in case most of you didn't know, the reason why I have the USA Truck Series, it's the Under Armour Super Ambush Truck Series, in case you didn't know. The A would basically be like the ARCA, so it's the A. Busch is your B, and C for Cup, so it's your ABCs going up the ladder. I definitely never explicitly stated that, but now everyone knows. And I think the trucks, it's a little bit neater than having an ARCA series, because it's gives us a variety of mods that we're playing with here. I have no desire to change mods. We're going to stick with the 2013 truck mod for the trucks and the FCRD Cup 22 mod for Busch and the ICR Mystics Cup Series mod for the Cup Series. So 16 laps, yeah, and we know that these road courses could be like watching paint dry sometimes. Not a whole lot of hustle and bustle. It does look like Ewan Wood Army dropped a couple spots. He's fallen back to 15th. Cam Jordan in 17th. Still not enough to make the point standings budge much. Tristan Reams actually lost a spot to Tyler Landa, who gets by him for 6th. And Craig Busch is up to 2nd, but nowhere near catching Al Bunch at the front here. And I must say, with the 3-peat last night, amongst all the races that I've run in 12 years, we've never had a 3-peat ever in, well, the trucks obviously, in the Busch Series now, but the Cup Series never had a 3-peat. So that shows you just how statistically unlikely And we're talking even, he could have had a blown tire in the second race or mechanical failure. Something could happen here and cost him the win too. That just don't happen in real life or in a video game. So perhaps Al Bunch might have to go buy himself a lotto ticket if he's able to pull off 4 in a row. It's kind of neat how similar the layout of the Daytona Road Course is to the Charlotte Roval. The only deal is the Charlotte Roval does not have as much banking as Daytona does. It kind of definitely adds a little bit more speed in those turns when you have that much banking. And some of you might be wondering too, going into next season, the earning system will try to get it worked in so that your earnings are synonymous across all 3 series. And even upgrades might be a thing in the Busch series, but with as much I've got on my plate, I don't know how much I can commit to or promise any of that right now. So the only thing for certain is I'm going to try to develop at least a way to get all the earnings kind of tallied up together. And I'm thinking I'm going to have to do like a Excel sheet or some kind of a data sheet that'll make it a little bit more easy to input data for me. Heck, the pace this race is going, it might be a little bit longer than an hour. It might be closer to about an hour and a half here. So hopefully most of you can stay tuned in. The pit strategies are what's going to make this race interesting as we're approaching lap 19. If they pit around lap 20, that'd put them to 20 and 40 for their 2 pit stops. I doubt they're going to stretch it to 26, which would put them right at about halfway. 26 would be the sweet spot for a 1-stop race. Just barely, though, because 26 puts you at 52. 27 would be the sweet spot, so 26 would be pushing it. You would be almost running yourself out of gas to pit at lap 26 for one more stop. Al Bunch from the pole has grown his lead to 9 seconds over Craig Busch. Logan Nagy in the top 5 there. You got Tyler Landa in 6th, Tristan Reams in 7th. Ewan Wood Army still sitting 15th, and Cam Jordan still sitting in 17th. That puts us at lap 20 and just 6 laps shy of halfway. There's no telling how this is going to play. I don't know if they're going to make it on 2 stops or if they're actually going to be able to push it to lap 27 and do it on 1 stop. With Al Bunch's strategy, he could definitely pull it off as he's already got a 9-second lead. They'll probably lose about 50 seconds to a minute on a pit stop here. And so a second pit stop would really cost most of these drivers, and it would put them right at about 40 of 53. It's crazy doing math like that. If you just wait 1 lap, it'll put you 2 laps later then. Instead of at lap 40, you would be at lap 42 when you make your next pit stop because you're doubling it. He's gonna stay out. Yep, looks like he's gonna stay out another lap, so oh wait, where is the pit entry here? They must be able to commit after the bus stop there, right before the front stretch finish line. Still no takers on pit road here. Cam Jordan is right on the rear bumper of you and What Army, as What Army has fallen back to 16th now. They're going to stretch it 1 more lap here. This will put them towards lap 44 now. Al Bunch's lead has grown to 10 seconds now over Craig Bush. definitely with the road course being is follow the leader like this, kind of shows you just how good these drivers are at wheeling them around this road course. We've went 22 laps so far and no cautions, so the best of the best, and they're showing it here today at Daytona. Now we got surplus of drivers coming down pit road. Al Bunch is going to stay out a little bit later here. Those that pitted right now will likely have to come back in on lap 46. Al Bunch, on the other hand, might be able to stretch it to lap 48 if he's able to pit here on lap 24. And he would have fresher tires on the rest of the field in those closing 5 laps if he makes it in on pit stop on lap 48. Of course, if everything stays green the way it's run so far. But I do like that the strategy for Al Bunch seems to be setting up here in his favor. We'll see if he makes it down pit road this time or not. Alrighty, so best case scenario for Al Bunch is him pitting right here on lap 24. As mentioned, this will likely stretch him out to lap 48 for his final pit stop. And at lap 48, he'll have the freshest tires of everyone when he comes off pit road. Tyler Aspinall is going to inherit the lead for a brief stint here, as Al Bunch is finishing up on his 4-tire change. He's going to come out in third, right behind Tyler Aspinall and Lynn Farrell. Lynn Farrell and Tyler Aspinall have not pitted yet, so this will likely be a brief stint with them in the lead. Crazy part is, though, Tyler Aspinall and Lynn Farrell are going to be able to stretch it to lap 50. So that's starting to get very close to almost a one-stop race for these two drivers. 3 laps is still a lot that they'll have to make up, and very unlikely that they could do so unless they stay out to lap 27 here. So we'll likely see Tyler Aspinall and Lynn Farrell come down pit road this time, as Aspinall can stretch it to lap 50 after pitting here on lap 25. Him and Farrell both. This will hand the lead back over to Al Bunch. After all the pit stops cycled out here, we're going to have to see where you and What Army winds up. Craig Bush in second, Tyler Landa in third, Lucas Holmes and Ryan Blaney fourth and fifth. Tyler Aspinall coming out sixth, Tristan Reams seventh, Logan Nagy eighth, Dusty Redding ninth, Nelson Morrison 10th, and JD Arrington. Noah Hobson, Clarence Bonner, Lynn Farrell, Adam Gerber-Forian, and the 21 of What Army. Looks like he's got some damage. Still running 16th, so he hasn't really lost any ground, but he's still not gaining any ground. Trying to see where he got the damage. Must be coming off pit road here, I imagine. Yep, he made contact with 38 of Connor Cooper coming off pit road, so that's where the damage came from. Minor damage, though. It ain't going to be something that'll affect him in the long run here. Al Bunch back out to a 10-second lead yet again. Midway through the track here, we're halfway through the race. 26 and a half laps complete out of 53. Al Bunch lost the lead on green flag pit stops, but he's back out front leading again. The only thing that's going to suck for Al Bunch is that there's going to be an off season to stretch out his win here until his next race. So with 4 consecutive wins on the horizon, would have to wait till 2023 to see if he could put in a 5th consecutive win. Given that he still manages to pull off the win here today at Daytona, as we're halfway through, and it's looking very good for him to do so. If you're just tuning in, you haven't missed much. Typical road course race here where you're out front, the leader leads, and there ain't much passing. It's kind of follow the leader at this point. But I think the crazy part of it all is that the fact Al Bunch is the leader yet again. He's led in all three of the last 3 races, make it 4, and he's looking at a potential 4-peat, winning 4 races if he can pull it off here. Our title contenders that we need to keep our eye on is the 21 of Ewan What Army and the 18 of Cam Jordan. Seems like they are still gradually sinking to the bottom of the standings as Ewan What Army is sitting 17th now and Cam Jordan in 18th. Still, the points accumulated would definitely give the championship to Ewan at this point. The kind of outside chance would belong to the 33 of Adam Gerber-Forian. And Adam's only running in 14th, a couple spots in front. So Adam would have to win this race, and Cam Jordan and Ewan would have to fall a little bit further back for that to happen. This alone is a lot like a pitcher throwing a perfect game in baseball, where he's just wheeling, dealing, and going to town. Al Bunch, very much the same, wheeling, dealing, and going to town on the rest of the field here. It'll be interesting to see, though, if Tyler Aspinall and Lynn Farrell can stretch their strategy just a little bit further. They're projected for their second pit stop on lap 50 of 53. But the neat part about that'll be is the fact that they can come in for just a splash and go, and they might be able to beat Al Bunch off the pit road with a quick splash and go for 3 laps. So definitely want to stay tuned to see how the strategy plays out here. There we go. Took a drink of peace tea to keep my from choking up. So yeah, like I was saying, pit strategy could definitely play a huge factor in the outcome of this race. And there's no telling, we might even get a caution before the end of it too, and that will change the game plan for everyone up. Al Bunch out front just hopes that the race stays green for the entire event, as that'll likely give him the best opportunity to win it here. Only 23 laps remain, and that'll be about another 45-50 minutes of racing here. Wow, we have a little bit of a conundrum here with Ewan What Army falling back to 25th. Wonder if he pitted maybe? What's going on here? Oh, okay. So start the strategy game early. What Army pits on lap 30 so that he can go the rest of the way. Did he have a mechanical failure? No, no pit. He just pitted. So he's going to get off strategy here, but that'll give him fresh tires on the rest of the field, clear track, and an opportunity to make up some ground where the others will be losing ground. This could potentially be a changing strategy that could give him a better finish than earlier anticipated. Ewan What Army is the first driver that is guaranteed to make it to the end with the tires and gas that he's got. We'll have to watch here and see how far back and how much ground he can make up. It's a very risky call for the team, especially the fact that if we got a caution right now, he would lose a lot of track position and potentially the championship here. I mean, this championship is very much up in the air right now on lap 32, more so than it's been all day. So we won't get to see quite how this pays off in the short run here. It's going to be all about this last long run green flag. He is praying and hoping that there is no caution to mix up the strategy that he is committed to here. Due in part to this, Cam Jordan running 16th could potentially take the championship out of Ewan's hands right here if it finished the way they're running right now. Every driver in front of Ewan is going to have to pit again. However, Ewan is running 156.8, 155-ish kind of laps here. We'll hold tight and watch what his lap is at the start-finish line. 156.4. Let's compare that to the rest of the field. Wow, everyone else is still running 155s. Very few of them running a 156, so we're just going to have to see how it shakes out. I don't think it's going to be an advantage at all, unfortunately. "19 laps to go, and Al Bunch has led all but a couple laps here at Daytona." This, to me, even though there's not a lot of passing and action on track, this is also a very interesting race due to the strategy. Road course races usually play out like this, where it's more of a battle of who's got the right pit strategy to win it all. And of course, a little bit of speed worked in there because, for example, I don't think anyone has anything for Al Bunch, as he is just flying out front, ripping some hardcore laps in the lead. By far the fastest car on track, and he is not fallen off from his best lap time by much at all. Second place now belongs to Tyler Landa, Ryan Blaney, Craig Bush falling back to fourth. I do find it intriguing that Tyler Aspinall running in seventh. He's definitely going to be able to stretch it longer than Al Bunch in the lead here. We'll likely see Al Bunch in around lap 446. So still about 10 laps away from his final stop of the race. And we're mostly about 6 laps shy of the rest of the field pitting for their final stop. Ewan What Army is running dead last right now, only due in part to the fact that he got off schedule pit stop strategy. Yep, I think we should reterm this stretch of the year Altober, as against all that we could have imagined here. Al Bunch having the roughest season, turning it around here at the end of the year, winning 3 straight, and looking at a potential 4th one here tonight. This will give us a lot of chatter going into 2023. It's going to be a interesting off season for sure, as we've got a lot of talented drivers and some surprises at the end of the season here. Of course, Guido Piano winning the Truck Series, no one saw coming. We are looking at potentially an upset here in the Busch Series as well if Ewan What Army is able to pull it off. Cam Jordan, amongst who's left running, would probably be the favorite because of the fact that he has 3 wins on the season. But then we got Al Bunch here, who might just get his 4th win of the season and was nowhere near contending for a championship. Prior to winning his first race just last night, he was 32nd in the points, and with the 3 wins, he catapulted his way up to 23rd. A win here tonight might put him in the top 15. So it's a very topsy-turvy field of drivers right now, and the off-season is going to be a fun one. Definitely a lot of chatter. Perhaps with the alliance that Al Bunch has formed with Ewan and Chaz, maybe there could be some negotiations there for Chadwick and Ewan to open up a 3rd seat. And then you would have the 8, the 18, and the number 1 car. That's very much speculation. Nothing is certain on that. It's just a rumor. But with those 2 combining forces, we could see something like that. Maybe not. It's always a, that's what the silly season's about, is crazy rumors that may or may not be true. Al Bunch definitely deserves a shot to run in the Cup Series here. whether that be in a part-time schedule or even finding a full-time ride for next season. We're gonna have 14 laps to go here, and probably gonna start seeing some people come down pit road here in a few. So like I was talking earlier tonight, I saw Ken Engage there make a comment about wanting to make a start in the series. I want to do a special exhibition race, kind of like the All-Star race or Busch Clash for the trucks, Busch, and the Cup. And I'm thinking what I want to do is the truck series, do a special race to be determined, but that would be one of your first starts. We would have you start in a exhibition race, which should be kind of fun. It's a bit early in determining getting you up to Cup there, but if you get some good starts in the trucks, you might catch the attention of a Busch Series ride. And even once you get in the Busch Series, all you got to do is run good enough to get potential seat time in a Cup car. There's definitely some room for growth in Toyota too. I remember you're kind of wanting to stick with Toyota, if I'm not mistaken. Toyota would be a good home, a good team to start building upon, because there ain't much Toyota emphasis in the Cup Series yet. So you might be able to become one of the top Toyota teams in the Sylvania Cup Series someday. 13 laps to go, and we're probably going to get pit stops with the rest of the field here in a couple, as I mentioned already. Wow, Tristan Reams getting by for 5th. This is where Ewan's going to hope that his strategy pays off here, as everyone else is going to have to start pitting in front of him, and he's going to be able to gain all the spots that he technically lost during his green flag pit stop. Cam Jordan running 16th. Still no takers down pit road here on lap 40. Man, Al Bunch is almost catched up to What Army. And we'll see, because What Army won't have to pit anymore. Bunch definitely will have to pit one more time here. And that's about 12-second gap there. He is way out front on the rest of the field. It's crazy how the speeds really aren't falling off for these drivers. Best lap of 155, and most drivers are still within 1 second of their fast lap. I don't know if Cam or Ewan's actually going to shuffle back into the mix very well here, because even though he's got clear track, he's still been really slow back into the pack there. And they're praying and hoping that there is no caution, as that would really ruin Ewan What Army for the championship title here. Wow, Al Bunch is coming a lot sooner than I anticipated. I thought he was going to stay until at least lap 46. Coming in on lap 42. This is going to be his last pit stop of the race. Howdy Llama, glad you could make it to the stream. You haven't missed a whole lot so far. Al Bunch has been dominating, leading 90% of the race so far. And if you noticed from last night, he won 3 consecutive races, so he's gonna be fighting here for his 4th straight win, if he can pull it off here. Ewan What Army is in contention for the points battle, but he's on a alternate strategy right now that has put him a little bit behind the cue ball. And we'll see to Cam Jordan if he pitted. Cam Jordan has not pitted yet, as others did. He's still out there. I don't know if Ewan's going to catch up to anyone. He seems to have just lost momentum. Crazy as it is. Significantly slower. And he might get worked out of the championship battle here within the closing laps. Currently, the lead belongs to the 11 of Craig Bush, followed by Tristan Reams, Tyler Aspinall, Nelson Morrison, and Noah Hobson. Coming down pit road, we got Tristan Reams and Tyler Aspinall, as well as the 56, the 1, 67, 33, the 18 of Cam Jordan. And this will be the true tale. Everyone's taking gas and goes here, and I don't know what Ewan What Army. Cam Jordan just had a problem on pit road here. What happened? Did he get bumped into his pit stall? We made contact with another car coming on pit road, and it recycled his car, ultimately putting an end to the championship battle for him. And we have a caution on track. What the heck's been going on? So everything went to hell here. Hell in a handbasket, as we now have a caution. And we're going to have a double foul restart to test the field. Damn, this is a lot that happened all at once. Luckily, Cam Jordan doesn't look like he's going to lose a lap, as the caution, happened right there. Justin Day 2 gets spun out, coming off pit road. A few other drivers also making contact and spinning out. Luckily, Day 2 did not get hit when he went out on the racing surface. And yeah, all hell breaks loose here. We're going to have a final charge to the end of the roughly like a 8-lap shootout to decide the championship here. Craig Busch is the lone leader right now. Still hasn't pitted yet, so he's likely going to lose that lead. Our two title contenders are going to be at the back of the field. And What Army is in front of Cam Jordan by simply one spot. So what was looking like a surefire win for Al Bunch, he's gonna, luckily, it looks like he's gonna inherit the lead yet again, as Craig Busch still has to pit. So I do have double file restarts enabled. I really hope that this doesn't crash my damn game. I was hoping for a race without a caution, so we'll have to see here. The only thing I have enabled is double file restarts, hoping that it might have been something else that was giving us troubles. It looks like it would have been better to have contact, or, contact disabled on pit road, which is one of the options in Better Caution mod. But I didn't have that enabled, so that's how we're under caution for the first time here. We'll have to see if there are more than one taker down pit road here. So Al Bunch re-inherits the lead here. We only have 8 laps to go. The lights on the pace car will likely turn off next lap. But our title is definitely on the line right now, as Ewan What Army sits 32nd, Cam Jordan sits 33rd. The other factor being that of Adam Gerber-Forian in 15th could make up a ton of points on the two leaders. And even Tristan Reams, if he's somehow able to pull off a win here, we might be talking about Tristan Reams, the 2022 SBL champion. Of course, we got to make sure that this race does not exponentially crash on the last lap here. This would be where my game has given me fits before. And it's a all green clear. We are golden, beyond golden. We don't get anything that just in case was just in case. So fight's gonna go down here to Al Bunch over. Man, I might need to post on Discord real quick that we're gonna have a 7-lap shootout so that we got some more people tuning in here. Thanks everyone that has tuned in. So the pace car is going to pull off track here. Al Bunch looking at a potential 4th consecutive win here if he can pull this off. Tyler Land on the outside getting a jump there, but it seems like they're going to get leveled back out in the restart zone, and the green flag waving. Al Bunch driving it deep on the inside there. Our championship battle all the way back of the field. We're going to have to watch these guys and see how this plays out for you and What Army. I wish I had picture-in-picture right now because we're going to have to keep an eye on. Well, Al Bunch takes the lead, so now let's go back and watch Cam Jordan, you and What Army, and see how much ground they make up here. Our championship contender, and I don't know the points tally until I tally it up. The way that Adam Gerber-Forian is running in 13th, I think What Army might be safe. What Army being in around 30th at the moment would still be able to make up enough points to keep Adam Gerber-Forian from winning this championship. And he's going to still get some more spots as he might have the faster car here. Things are going to kind of stretch out now. Cam Jordan struggling in 32nd. But we got Al Bunch out here cruising in front. Still, we got 7 laps to go, and nothing's a given. Cam Jordan finally got by the 22 of Jules T-Roll, but it looks like momentum has been slowed. As they come roaring into the bus stop here, What Army is going to have to find some more passes to be made here. So Adam Gerber-Forian would have to make up 80 points in order to catch What Army. And the only best way to get 80 points would be to finishing top 5. So Adam Gerber-Forian is up to 10th right now, so he's making all the right moves to get into the necessary spot. What Army still mired all the way back in 28th, so let's go watch Adam and see how he's doing towards the front of the field here. Adam was definitely one of our early dominant drivers, starting off the season dominating and leading the points. He was only able to muster 1 win all year, but it was a worthwhile win. Things kind of fell off mid-season and hadn't shown the same prowess as he did when he started. Perhaps he's gonna flip the script here and show up when it's most necessary in order to win the championship. Still, 10th is not going to be enough for him. Al Bunch sitting in front with potentially his 4th straight win. Cam Jordan is just trying his hardest to get by some of the traffic in the back here. Wood Army seems to have kind of plateaued as he doesn't have the pace to get by very many of the drivers. How about that for Tyler Aspinall? He's trying to make it interesting in the closing laps here as he's worked his way up to 2nd. He's definitely had a little bit faster car, and I think the strategy that he flip-flopped on might be giving him just a little bit of an edge here with 5 laps to go. Because he's slowly catching up to Al Bunch. He would like to spoil the Al Bunch party. He doesn't want Al Bunch to win 4 straight. He wants to try and take it for his first win in the season. 1.6 seconds separates him from Al Bunch with only 4 laps to go now. Still very potential chance that this could get interesting. Wood Army still running in 28th at the moment. Tyler Landa in 4th is going to be able to move up a couple spots in the top 8 with his 4th place finish. Tristan Reams, as mentioned before, would likely have to win this race, but a 5th is still going to be a good showing for him. Based on the way they run, he would actually be able to get in front of Adam Gerber-Forian for 3rd. And potentially 2nd, given that Cam Jordan's struggling at the back of the field. This is the most pressure that Al Bunch has faced all day here at Daytona, as Aspinall is giving it one last go to try and catch him. Aspinall wants to prove that it's no fluke that he's getting into the Cup Series for 2023. He wants to try and prove that he's a winning team and even winning team owner. Regardless of whether he gets the win here or not, he still has a lot that he can be proud of in 2022, especially with this run here. The 2nd will be almost like a victory for the team. Momentum is definitely on the side of some of the underdogs right now. And I think that'll factor into 2023 also, with these underdogs showing some strength. Who knows whether they'll be contenders next year or not. Oh, and it might be a caution to end the race. We have someone off track. Luckily, it doesn't bring out the caution, but it was Ethan Creech and Nelson Morrison losing it. They stay relatively going forward, so there was no caution. And that's the best case scenario because that means we'll still get to watch this battle at the front between Al Bunch and Tyler Aspinall and see what materializes here. Tyler's going to make it really interesting as he is closed way up on the rear side of Al Bunch. And this is definitely going to show prominent strength on Al Bunch's part if he's able to hold off some hard-charging drivers to get these wins. It wasn't easy getting the first 3 wins of this 3-race stretch that he won. And it's definitely not going to be easy to get this 4th one. As we've got 2 laps to go. And we've actually got a battle for the lead here. Right at the finale, at the finish of it all. Adam Gerberian is now moved up another spot into 9th. This is crucial because this could give him more points against Ewan Army, who's running 29th. Ewan's going to have to hope that he secured enough points to keep Adam Gerberian from taking the championship here by surprise. The crazy factor is the fact that our top 2 drivers are probably the 2 drivers that have had the hardest season, and they're having their best stretch of the season right now at the end. Tyler's right there. He can smell the lead. Al Bunch is going to have to hold off this very hard-charging Chevy Camaro of Tyler Aspinall with 2 long laps here at the Daytona Road Course. It's going to be interesting on the back side of the track here whether or not Tyler's going to have the upper hand. It seems like once they get to the bus stops right before the start-finish line that Tyler's got a faster charge and cruises through those turns with ease, catching up to Al Bunch even more each time. Al Bunch is actually showing a little bit of distance here as he's going to take the white flag at the start-finish line. And he's only got to hold him off for one more lap now. White flag waves, they cross the start-finish line. Tyler Aspinall is going to be giving it everything he's got, putting his white knuckle elbows all into it to try and wheel this beast of a car to victory lane. He's going to have to stop the hot streak, though, that is Al Bunch, which is not going to be no easy feat, as we've seen. Al Bunch has dominated 3 races straight and dominated this 4th one as well. Just like that, Adam Gerber-Forian makes another spot. He's up to 8th now. Tristan Reams in 4th, and of course Ewan Woodarmy 28th and Cam Jordan 29th. I'll definitely have to make an announcement on who the official champion is, as I will not know during the broadcast here. We will know one thing for certain, and that's going to be who won this race. And it's between these two, with the final corners just upon them. Al Bunch trying to hold off a hard-charging Tyler Aspinall. Looks like Aspinall's going to kind of try his one last maneuver here, going into the bus stop right before the start-finish line stretch. And he is right on his bumper, just barely. But not enough, as Al Bunch, in dominant fashion, wins his 4th race in a row, which is complete insanity. Finishing second to him, Tyler Aspinall, of course. Tyler Landa with a 3rd. Tristan Reams with a 4th. Logan Nagy, Noah Hobson, JD Arrington, and then our potential, we'll have to get the tally, but Adam Gerber-Forian finishing 8th could be a big deal here. Lucas Holmes, Dusty Redding, Clarence Bonner, Roland Heidfeld, Josh Harrison, Lynn Farrell, Riley Sorrell Tracy, Tyler Disharoon, Connor Cooper, Micah Mixer, Bella Fawn, Skylar Dixon, Chris Hergeson, Brian Clark, Justin Daytu, Tyler Fink, Craig Bush, Ethan Creech, Justin Patrick. Cam Jordan actually got by Ewan Woodarmy, Adam Starr, Nadat Kagum, and the 72 of Dave Wilson, followed by Jules T-Roll and Ryan Blaney. But this is going to be a momentous occasion and one of the golden awards that ever could be achieved. 4 straight wins for Al Bunch, which is just unheard of. Once the points are all tallied up, we'll see exactly where Al Bunch winds up, but from being 32nd in the points 4 races ago, he's going to be basically making up for a whole season of racing in that 4-race stretch. So all in all, it was a great season. Bunch of good races, a lot of surprises, some carnage and craziness. The trucks didn't disappoint, the Busch Series didn't disappoint, and now all we got left for 2022 is the final 2 Cup races of the season. Al Bunch is going to be able to go into the off season with his head held high and a total of 4 wins to his name. He is now the winningest driver in the Sylvania Bush League. He's accumulated more wins, even though he was not in contention for the championship. 25 races. It's been a pretty good stretch here for the Bush League. 26 races in the trucks. And we're looking at the final 2 of a 44 race season for the Cup Series. So 25 of 25. Overall, not quite what was expected. We didn't see much of a battle between the actual championship contenders here. We saw kind of some big name surprise names at the front, which is kind of neat in its own way. And history being marked here with 4 consecutive wins for Al Bunch. So yet again, everyone, very much appreciated that you could tune in for this season finale of the Sylvania Bush League. We've got a lot of anticipation going into 2023, a bigger fan base than I ever expected, and I'm looking forward to continue to put on as good a show as possible for everyone. So don't know when our next live stream will be. Very glad that I got to this point with my own little project here, and so looking forward to many more years of this project continuing onwards. So have a good night. I will keep you guys updated on the Discord channel. And like I said earlier, if there's any of you that want your channel, your YouTube channel, whichever it might be, even if it's Discord, if you create me a 1920 by 1080 like sponsor screen, I'll be happy to broadcast it like right now that you're looking at, where we've got Llama Racing Network, Intensity Broadcasting, brought to you by Atlee Weiss. We can definitely get that arranged. I just want to help give everyone, just help out everyone. So thanks again. I'm gonna go ahead and log out, and until next time, this is Jakester signing out.